Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. I am so pumped to finally be bringing you guys my review of the T.REX Arms sidecar. So if you guys have been following my Instagram, which I will put the link down in the description below, I posted a video of a really quick review which actually blew up on Instagram. I don't know how, but it had over 13,000 views. It's pretty crazy, so I was super pumped about that. Let's get right into it and tell you what I think about the sidecar and if it's actually worth the money and the time that you're gonna be waiting to get it. The first things that you'll notice about the sidecar versus all other holsters is just the quality of the build material. And now I've seen a couple other reviews out there where they'll talk about the quality. I've had so many other Kydex holsters, and again, right out of the box, I was very pleased with how everything was put together. You can see there's no folded pieces of Kydex, two sheets put together, and there's quite a bit of hardware allowing you to tighten it on multiple parts. And then obviously you have the Raptor claw on the outside. Believe it or not, actually right after I made that Instagram video, I wore it for a couple of days and it was driving me nuts. So basically, what you'll probably notice out of the box, you have these two clips here that can either raise or lower the holster. When the holster is actually on your body, when it first comes out of the box, it's super high up. And you can see that again in that video, that first video. Because it was so high up, it was great to draw from. However, it was right pushing into my pelvic bone area when I sat down. It was almost too high to where it was extremely uncomfortable for the first 2 days. I didn't want to lower it too much because then I'd be in the same position as my previous holster. I still wanted enough so that I could get a full grip on the holster, which I can now, and I literally just lowered it down one space. And by lowering it down one space on the actual ringlets here, it was phenomenal. Literally when I did that, I couldn't even feel that it was there. The Raptor claw, again, at first was contributing to the uncomfortableness because it was just way too high. Now where it sits in my pant line, it's right underneath the pants, and it really does do a good job of pushing the butt of the gun up towards my body. The magazine holster on the side is phenomenal. I can draw my magazine extremely easy and get it into the gun and ready for the fight a lot faster than my other holster setup. Now, what you guys are probably all wondering is, was it really worth the wait time? For the longest time, I would look at Kydex companies all over the place, and I was extremely frustrated with wait time. So that's why I ended up going with this, my original setup. So basically with this original setup, this was a Concealment Express holster. I'm not bashing these guys at all. They do a really good service if you're looking for a Kydex holster that you can get literally in 2 days off their website for 30 bucks. It's way better in my opinion than those nylon Uncle Mike's holsters and Blackhawk holsters like that. And it worked for me for the time being. I didn't want to wait, and so I went with this. And I was looking around and ultimately, after this didn't work, this little setup with another side magazine holster or whatever, I've been through so many other Kydex holsters, I wish I just would have went with the sidecar in the very beginning. If you're thinking about carrying appendix, I would honestly, without even going to other holsters, maybe getting this while you're waiting for your sidecar, but just go ahead and order the sidecar or something like it, because I promise you, you will not be unhappy with the setup. It really does a great job. It is extremely difficult to conceal a full-size handgun in a tighter shirt like this. There's no way in hell I could do that in the 4 o'clock position where I used to carry. You'll notice me just standing here, there might be a little bit of indentation, but for what I'm actually concealing underneath, it's really not that bad at all. So I'll give you a turnaround here, and you'll notice when I turn to the side, it may puff out my waist a little bit, but it just kind of looks like I have a totally flat profile. It doesn't really look like something odd sticking out. Obviously, you wouldn't see anything from the back side. From the other side, again, slight popping out. And this is one of the tightest shirts that I own, so this is really saying a lot. And then from the front, again, it's probably going to be the most concealable position that you have. But underneath, you have your entire setup. Again, that's extremely fast to draw from, and you would have no clue that I have 30 rounds of 9mm with both mags and a full-size VP9. So it really does a phenomenal job of concealing. Finally, I want to talk about pant setup and belt setup for the sidecar. So the belt that I'm running, you guys know, is the high-speed gear. I think Cobra buckle belt is just the name for it. But I have these clipped right here, This is a phenomenal belt for appendix carry in my opinion. I can tighten it using the Velcro on the back side to exactly how I want it, so that way I can always just know I can grab my pants, pull them up, clip the Cobra buckle, and I'm going to be on my way because it's already sized for my holster. This is really ideal for a setup like this. An old school like leather buckle or whatever, the buckle in the front I think personally would get seriously in the way with this whole setup that you have going on here. Although you'd still be able to use it because the buckle would sit right in between the two clips right here. I just prefer to run mine on the side and not even have to worry about it. I've tried multiple different pants with these. These are just the regular Levi's jeans. They work fine, but what I find work best are my 511 pants. Not all types of 511 pants work, but I do have one pair that's quite a bit thinner on the top, and those seem to work really, really well because there's not a lot of material in the front. I found that the more pants that you have with the more material, like in that front by the button area or whatever, the more annoying it's going to be to get this holster to actually fit in there properly. The final thing we're going to talk about here is, did this increase my speed or consistency when drawing my handgun? I do feel that it gave me a much more consistent draw when practicing with dry fire practice. So you'll notice when I draw the gun, I get it up and present it in the exact same way. My hand does not move on this side. I can draw it the same way, get it in the same positioning over and over and over again. This is really beneficial because once I draw, I'm not moving and adjusting my hand to get a proper grip. That means that when I draw, I'm ready to shoot in the retention position right here. I don't have to do any maneuvering work to be ready to shoot in a really strong positioning in my hand. All in all, to finish this video out, is the SIDECAR worth the $105 that I paid for it and the 7 weeks that I waited for shipping? I would say absolutely yes. It's a great holster. I hope this review has done it justice because in the past couple of weeks that I've been carrying it, subject to change in the future, I don't foresee myself ever really trying out a new rig unless I go grab a new gun that I decide to start carrying. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow my Instagram account. The link is down in the description. And stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.